These are the best highlights from the matchup between RNG and WE during the 2024 LPL Summer Split.
But then, of course, they bring in and out LP and Summer as well, and they're going on to Able at this point. So that's the fourth AD carry in the year so far, and that's a jump onto the jungler.
We said he can't afford to fall behind. This will put him behind. First blood for Hung.
Playing right now, I think we see Xi'an into it just because he can survive and then out-teamfight at points, even if you lose that individual lane. So WE, they say, alright, gonna be down in CS anyway, whatever, let's go towards bot side, it's gonna take that dragon. They have really...
As well, people would love to dive it on and sure you get a couple of kills, but he still upgrades items, he still has massive engage for the late game team fights. RNG contesting the grubs here, and nicely done by them. That'll lead to 5 grubs, as it's been a very quiet early game. It's been all about these objectives. Wayward just gets underneath the tower. Are they going to commit to a dive here? Wayward should be able to just run away from this one. And that'll be the first tower going down. Fofo is trying to answer on the bottom side of the map. Drake being taken by WE. Don't know if Fofo will be able to actually finish a tower. Mark, this is not your side of the map, buddy. Everyone else is over at Drake. What are we doing at Red Buff?
Dying, I think. So, RNG get themselves on the board. WE, they do trade towards the bot.
Starting this one off, and it looks like, I mean, Hung is moving over. I don't think he'll be here in time to contest.
I don't think it's a great idea to be giving up Herald, but I suppose if they feel like they're not ready to fight until they get to, 2 items, that makes sense. If they think they can't win the fight, then that makes obviously a lot of sense. Especially with Mark kind of losing his flash, maybe that hurts him from getting on.
Ways about it. But we'll see. We'll see how that's going to go. Oh, flash from Hung, followed up by an ultimate. Juice flashes over the wall, but a TP being channeled. Equalizer is trying to turn the engage, but the whole gang is on the way. Blast Cone gets him over the wall. Able flies into the action. Juice solo on HP, and finally will go down just about. Hung is low, and Way trying to trade it. WE only get 1.
And loses that flash, but WE, they overcommit. Well, they commit towards a kill, but they're going to lose themselves a top lane in a turret, which is going to be 700 gold over to Tainuan. Huan Fong gets away safely, but I feel like WE, they overcommit a little bit. Tainuan's off to the side, just pushing out that mid lane, going to take the turret, and while this is happening, WE are still getting poked out in the 4v5.
Tainuan doesn't commit to the tier 2 in the mid lane, returns to the potential play. Keep your eyes on Ming. That engage has to be crucial for RNG. Wayward still tanking. W's buffers the hook.
Mark.
And here we go onto the backline. Mark sets it up onto Juice. The rest of the team diving on board, but Juice survives. It's Hung to go down instead. They're trying to burst the Drake here. They don't have a smite into play, which means Way can just move in and sweep it up. WE, they lose a death. They lose the Drake. Maybe lose more as RNG chase them out of the jungle. The poke continues to rain down as WE flee with their tails between their legs. All of this in the mid lane. Wayward forced away. Juice equalizer burns him to a crisp, and Juice comes out on top.
He picks the Xi'an into the Rumble, but it's not for the 1v1, and this is exactly why. The Rumble is so good at dealing with these bruises, and now Juice with a huge advantage. RNG with a huge advantage. Need to just try and close out this game. WE, I think they're really struggling.
I mean,
WE, they're kind of just snatching and grabbing for plays. Wayward alone on this side lane after Fofo teleported bot there too. Maybe just hasn't got himself out of the mindset of him being on the try and catch Tainuan, and they don't even get that. They lose the dragon, they lose a flash on their AD carry. Yes, Soraka in the Nidalee to heal you up as well. The poke sticks.
Hung caught, but he's happy to be on the front line. Equalizer goes down. It doesn't really land. Mark, though, might just fall. There's no follow-up for WE. Fofo's on the bottom side of the map.
Yeah, and he's hit level 16, sure. Yeah, WE want to put him towards the side lane. He's teleporting in now to try and look if they can 4v5. Better
late than never, or is it? Time to find out. Wayward goes in on the front line, but he's just not tanky enough. Look at the damage coming out from RNG. WE consistently pushed away. Full retreat now. They've stopped the Baron. Can they survive the play? Tainuan chasing for more. Way looking for a spear as Fofo desperately tries to get out of this one. Hung next on the chopping block as Fofo continuously chunk. The laser comes out. The blast go to safety. We talked about maybe they can get a win on the board. This would be their second game win of the split if they can get this first win and try and contest this Baron. That'll be Drake 2.
Yeah, and 3 Mountain Dragons for RNG now. This is only getting worse. You're getting to the point where, Ming, just with the Celestial opposition and a bunch of HP and like one defensive item coming in is going, but it's still going to be a big damage amount that needs to come through from them, and the Baron started again.
Mark and Hung have to try and check this one. Wayward has TP available. He's in the bot side right now, but the Baron might just go down here. TP into the pit. Hung gets into the pit as well. Bit of poke coming out from Abel. The tanks are tankier. Equalizer goes in. Abel on the back line. Shocks against everyone, but WE, that's their engage. It seems like it's gone, and RNG is still full health. Wayward stuck in the pit now, all out to find one. There's a pick onto Ming. Suddenly 4 remain from RNG. WE, they make it out, but at the end of the day, RNG got the Baron. In another 1v1 with Wayward. Wayward's down to half HP, and Way's on the way as well. Wayward has stepped miles out of position here. He's just going to be taken down for free.
Juice has just knocked this guy for 6. Wayward's not got to play this game. Yes, you expect that the Cassante loses in the early lane and fell onto one of the key frontline members from WE, and they still have the equalizer available. It's not like Juice even had to use that if he wants to teleport and use that, which is exactly what he could do now.
And that's going to be the base broken open. That is RNG knocking on the door. 15 seconds on Wayward. It's not enough.
Very well.
Yeah.
Feels like they've just been so discoordinated compared to what we know they can be.
Hung takes an equalizer. Remember that time when we said Nidalee will fall off compared to Sejuani late game? With ults like these, even Nidalee looks relevant late game. Spears continuously landing. Mark goes in, last ditch engage for WE. Can they find the damage? RNG health bar's low. Juice has to turn golden. Wayward still tanking on the front line. Can the AD carries pop off? Can they finally find the fight? Abel gets 2 as Fofo tries to finish the jump. One fog the target, and he pops him. Way and Fofo in a 1v1 now, and suddenly the game explodes. It's open wide, and RNG sent packing.
Finally, WE find a fight. It's not even a clean.
RNG, a TP comes in from Wayward behind enemy lines. Tangyuan's already halfway through the Drake though. Vision now in the pit. They're just going to burst this. They're not even there in time. WE, they lose the soul as RNG waltz out away from the plate. I'm not sure Wayward can stop them escaping either. RNG corralled onto the bottom side of the map, but they don't even...
On that soul, so hard to cut through anyone on this team. Yeah, they managed to break down the front line in that last play. Can they do that again? It's another missed ult.
Hung trying to find the angle, but does not find anything. Fofo now just going to try and trade in the mid lane. He pushes towards an inhibitor. Equalizer comes down. It will be at best a trade as the bot inhib goes down for RNG. The mid inhib can go down. That is 3 inhibitors for RNG if they can finish this middle one. Wayward finds the Q3. Mark actually goes for the engage, and the fight begins. WE looking to turn things. The knock-up on Abel buys a little bit of time for RNG, but that's all of the engage gone at this point. Wayward gets the knockback. Tangyuan joins the play as well as Abel has to back away. Wayward will go down on the back line. 4 members strong for RNG. They've got a 4v3 and a chance to end the game.
Oh, and Fofo could really get himself into the fight, was too far away and teleports back to the Nexus turret. He's not there to break the ankles of Huanfeng again, and now I think you're right with the man in Salt with Bloodthirster shields. They think they can take it.
Hung's going to go down surely. Abel does survive, and Hung actually survives as well. RNG's health bars are low. Huanfeng wants to finish the job, diving forward for Hung and forces a flash. But WE still survive. 3 inhibs.
Split a really big late game advantage, and they couldn't quite close it off. In one of their last games in their last series here in group stage, they would really like to buck that trend. WE, they might have to have themselves a smite steal on the Baron. That's if they choose to contest it at all. I think WE take a look towards it. All of those items arrayed inside, and they think, yeah, maybe not. In terms of wave clear, the 500 CS win condition, maybe that can carry WE to a game like this.
I'm sure that can't be true. I'm sure I'm going to be corrected on that one. Here we go, ults in, knockback, Ming the target, but he survives. Now depth charge onto Wayward, Hung escaping on the top side of the play.
Actually, this is why you can sometimes pick the Cassante into the Rumble. Is it enough to use Defender's advantage? We can go back and heal from the fountain and last out this siege.
Surely RNG don't lose this. Mark goes for the engage again, Ming on the front line here. Way trying to get some damage down, but Way might just fall himself. Abel chasing, all out comes through, and Wayward finds the kill. 4v3 now in favor of WE. It's flipped around from the previous play. Wayward over the wall. Can he get out with his life though? Juice is there to try and close the gap. Wayward has to try and survive. He has teleport available. If he can get out of vision, he might just be able to get away with it.
He's
onto
going.
the Nexus towers. Wayward with the great escape.
Oh, smooth criminal move. Close to the point now where he can buy up even the extra 80 carry item. Is that going to be enough? That amount of gold for the Elder Dragon spawning now. Can the big carries of WWE find that pocket?
Juice and Tanguan have gone topside. They want to try and trade perhaps, or maybe TP into the play, but the Elder is down to 10k, and Wei is not going to be able to get into the pit. RNG, this is a terrible call. You had to contest. That's Elder for WE. They're going to be able to go for resets here. They're trying to split the fight. RNG want to deny recalls, but they're just going to try and end the game in the meantime. The solo laners are in the base. The recalls have not come through just yet. Bofo goes back and tries to defend, but he's on his own, and the Nexus is going to fall. WE, they needed to retreat. They needed to defend, and instead, Tanguan breaks the Nexus, and RNG find their game.
And the Draven, if they end up getting ahead and forcing WE to play respectfully, I think that WE could fall into a big draft deficit if they have legitimate guys, maybe not so on their recent sweep, to get themselves some good structure damage across the map.
So WE off a mid prio and bot prio will get this first Drake of the game. And we've not really talked about the bot lane matchup that much. Obviously, Draven Leona very aggressive. However, it's really hard to get onto a Rakan as Leona.
Yeah, he was pretty intense. Like, what? I always thought you were reading my mind. Turns out you just had a tell.
Maybe a poker player in his spare time. Here we go, Juice gonna have to show us his poker face here. Needs to survive the CC chain. All out comes through onto Hung. Is it enough? The tower shot! It hits! And Juice does it again!
The side lane on the LeBlanc now. That's where RNG wants to put them. The LeBlanc, very strong side laning champion. But given how much of a locus of power that is, maybe they won't get to use it.
Caught out here, should just go down. That's a cash-in of 700 gold.
Shut down a cash-in to the other side on the Draven, so maybe that changes things yet again. What is Hung doing there without the flash? He doesn't have that amount of tankiness just yet into this game, and RNG walk away with a Herald, and that might just break things open a lot more than they would have.
Got the kill gold plus the 700 gold cash in. That's a big old swing, but WE, not to be deterred, will continue to stack these objectives. That's all 6 grubs, and it'll be the Drake on top of things as well. It's only the Herald that RNG have managed to get for themselves so far this game.
Yeah, and it does feel like RNG getting that cash in, it does make things a little better. Wayward's going to get dove here. They have the Herald. It's going to be probably a kill. He has Flash and Dominus. Still, a lot of damage to be put towards him. Can they throw the Draven up? No, it's on cooldown. He probably kill him anyway.
Takes the tower, so he won't be able to get away from this one. Shotgun comes in. Tanguan finishes the job. That'll be tower in the top side as well. In the meantime, the bot lane tower is finished off by Fofo. But look at the mid lane. We've got Wonpong pushing in the mid lane. TP going to come through in that top side just to defend this tower even further.
What was
for the next view?
We had that one game, Ultra Prime Weibo? One of those games. Oh, Abel.
Hung moves into the river here. There's just an engage straight away from RNG. Double knockup comes on through, but the front line just ain't tanky enough. Juice forced away, and I don't think he'll get out of dodge. Hung finds the kill as WE open up for a third Drake, and they stay strong in this game.
Solo that one down though. Hung's coming over to help. Huge damage, of course, from the AD carry at this point. Has the Flicker Blade as that second item. He's going to take that one easy peasy. And despite RNG using the logic of blow the Zyre ultimate with these low cooldown ultimates.
WE, this is a fight that they need, and it's a good chunk onto Tanguan from Wayward, but trade back in the end. Roots come on through as Mark hunting for the engage. Wonpong has been found, cleanses them in the all-out to try and peel for the AD carry. Solo flares a bit of a miss as Tanguan behind enemy lines gets onto Fofo but can't finish the kill. Q3 doesn't hit. Juice just faceplants the wall as Abel takes over the fight and finds one for himself. WE staying as a 5 as Tanguan continuously poking in, but RNG are sent packing, and that should be Drake for WE.
And RNG, do they have anything left in them? I think they're sticking around somehow looking for a steal, but it might just give another kill over.
That's going to be Ocean Soul in the pockets of WE. Tanguan.
And they don't have their AD carry or cooldowns to defend the Baron. WE get themselves both objectives in one fell swoop.
No wards in the pit. Juice is going to try and remedy that fact. Way moving in down the river. Tanguan TP's on the top side for the flank, but the Baron's already gone. Way next on the target list as Juice tries to protect his jungler, but WE, they've got away with murder here. Baron take from just kind of watched him hit them. Like,
Yeah.
we saw Wade trying to hit the back line, Huanfeng
Hey,
trying to hit the
where's
back
the
line.
rock? Who's
then-
got the rock? We forgot the rock.
Yeah, I guess Abel's got the rock. He's the bird with
Yeah.
the rock, and he's now dropped. He's like one of those birds that, you know how crows remember faces and they'll poo on the same car if you're a bit of a arsehole to him. Anyway, moving on. You've got Chips and a crow wants one. Give him, because they are vindictive animals and they're very clever. That's all I'm saying. Abel among that number. Oh, Tangyuan. It was his clone that got chunked, but the Baron should lead to a mid lane inhibitor. Wei is trying to get a flank, but not sure how confidently he could just step up here. Hung pushes it away. Mid inhib taken. WE much.
A really big problem now that the Ocean Soul gives Abel an extra step up in his itemization. Didn't go towards the Bloodthirster, keeps walking forward. Full HP, full damage.
I think that's going to be a kill on Juice. Huanfeng falls as well, and that might just be game, honestly. Out of nowhere, RNG found in the jungle, and the Baron minions can push on forwards. No TPs to keep these minions alive. Wei going to try and clear that wave, but he clears himself off of the table instead. WE, I mean, only 7 kills on the board by the end of the game, but 7 was enough for them. Finding a win in a clean fashion in Game 2.
But that's where the game changes. RNG have that opportunistic pick. They can have the Renekton on a flank. You can have the Ahri and the... Oh, he's quite low HP. Whoever tanks aggro is going to be in a bit of trouble now because Wei's lost HP.
There's no level 6 for Juice either, but they're going to try and make it happen. Cannon underneath the tower. Juice flashes. Chain stuns come on through. Reset is there. Juice does take the shot, and it's a 1-for-1, but Wei would loses some minions. They swing around and nobody dies. But Wei, in the meantime, he's going to grab himself a Drake, which is a pretty nice little pickup. Hung pathing towards that top side, but it's possible RNG could content the Grubs as well. It's not like Hung has done it. Something up here. Wayward does have flash available. A late hit. Wayward is suspicious. He knows something's going on, but Way's going to try and make it happen anyway. There's the flash. Stun, followed by swing around to the big old sword, and that's a reset. That's Wei grabbing.
Going to be facing up against RNG, especially against those resets from the Blade of the Ruin King on the Ruin King.
Ming is waiting on that blast cone. Little does he know, he's on vision right now. Abel going to be forced away. Here comes the Poppycopter to try and punt someone. Ming is gone, and that's an opportunity for WE to burst down this Drake and get themselves that neutral objective.
For them. They don't want to be fighting into RNG too haphazardly right now with those threats of those resets around.
I think one of the best things for WE there was Renekton wasn't involved at his strongest moment in the game, but he will be involved in this one. Dominus behind enemy lines with the Hex Gates as well. Dives into the mix, but Hung denies his entry, and it's Wei to go down instead. Shut down for Fofo, and Juice not long for the world as he tries to escape over the wall. Here the Skarner all dodged by Tangyuan, who gets a reset of his own. It turns into an absolute scrap between the two teams as a Hexgate back out to safety for Fofo. 4 groups for 2, a kill apiece. Tangyuan
has flash.
Abel dodges it. Ming doesn't get dodged though. Flash away from the arrow from Huanfeng.
So RNG, again, this kind of even-ish fight is much better for WE than they should expect. Juice, wall stunned.
Pushed underneath the tower, and Hung might just get himself solo killed. No! Fofo slides in from the side and grabs credit. And honestly, using it in the previous team fight, it's going to be RNG on the Herald once again off the back, chunking out Mark.
Mark's got to be careful now. Next time the charm lands onto anyone, it could be dangerous. Here we go.
Wayward not tanky enough just yet. There we go. Reset does come on through for Wei. Looks for Abel next if a charm can land, but I think it's on cooldown.
And saying, look, someone's going to dash into the Poppy. If I can use that W to get myself some extra playmaking potential, that can be worth it. Taking down the mid lane turret with the threat of that snowball, and that's an easy turret take for RNG.
Really nice stuff. This is going to be 2 turrets taken by RNG. We saw it in Game 1. We're seeing it again in Game 2. RNG in control of the map. They get
where are you going with this, buddy?
Charge. Ming is just going to use it as a taxi.
RNG, they've found themselves a current run of form. Game 1, strong early game. Couldn't quite close it, but they won.
Tier 2 going to be taken by RNG. Slow and steady wins the race, it would seem. And to be honest, with these drafts,
You can look at Mark for those big killer engages, but with the Banshees right now, with Ming being really tanky, I think it's really hard for WE to find huge, big engages. This poke coming through from Fofo, blowing the spell shields, getting a little bit of HP damage as your opposing number. Oh, that's a wall stun!
Oh, snap engage and a half. Tangyuan just gets annihilated, slammed against the wall and finished off. And now WE.
Aaron, they can look to turn off of it.
It's confirmed Tang Yuan was a side character. He's been killed off by the writers, but WE looking to write a victory here. Mark on a flank. It's a good engage from Ming here, but outnumbered as WE charge through the front line, but they're getting taken apart themselves. RNG are winning a 4v5 right now. I don't know how they're making it happen, but they are making it happen. Wayward goes in, knocked asunder as Juice gets onto the backline. Abel will fall, and RNG make magic happen.
Oh, we haven't seen it for all of summer, but where there's a will, there's a way. The Viego resets, win the fight for Royal Never Give Up. And WE looking like they found themselves that perfect pick to start things off. Fall in the ensuing fight. Baron goes over to RNG, and WE...
Other three teams in the group, there might be the one win that RNG can get onto the standings.
However, worth noting, that's an objective boundary mid lane that'll help them claw back some. This should just end up at an inhibitor. They're not wave clearing.
Where on earth are WE? They're trying to go for this Drake that's up in 15 seconds, but RNG take an inhib turret in the meantime. Wayward now clearing in the base with no TP, and they've got a flank on WE. This is beautiful from RNG. Fofo, the target here, but first kill does go in the direction of WE, and Huangfeng is caught out of position. Suddenly, it flips once again, and WE are in the driver's seat. Looking for a slow from Wayward as he tries to close the gap once again. Tang Yuan still has another blast of his ultimate. Charm goes wide, but WE should secure themselves a Drake.
Wait, he's bot lane! He's teleporting bot lane. Juice is going to get himself the inhib, and you're going to see Tang Yuan pushing mid lane as well. They're going to try and end the game. WE, you need to reset.
I don't think he can end the game right here. Drake goes the way of WE. Juice just not really on a split push champion. He'll return to the rest of his team, but RNG in the meantime break open the mid lane inhibitor tower as well, on top of getting a Nexus tower. Tries to play in deep vision. Wayward TP's up. RNG, they've got a TP out. They'd be happy with this one. That's a Poppy ultimate though, and immediately everyone dives in. Impale across the team of RNG, and WE still going strong. Abel trying to carry, but Tang Yuan still alive, and the recess starts to come through on the side of RNG. They might just have done it. That's almost an ace in the side of RNG. Fofo sent packing, and an RNG looking for the game.
It's just Fofo alive. Can he wave clear? There's one Nexus turret left. There's a super mini wave in bot side. RNG, I think they found their first series victory.
Against all odds on their final series, RNG managed to redeem themselves and get a win on the board. They will not tie OMG at 0-6. They find their victory and they knock WE away. Whoa, no, the inhib respawn. There's 8 seconds until Hung is back up. Mark has just respawned. I don't think the damage is there though. Abel's not up for another 10 seconds. The Nexus will fall. WE are knocked out of Group A.
These were some of the best moments from the matchup between RNG and WE during the 2024 LPL Summer Split. Which moment was your favorite? Let us know in the comments below.